All right, that should be the last start stream.
All right.
Oop, where's BADRUKK? Here he is.
There we go. Ah.
What?
Ah. Okay, this is gonna be
What
amazing.
is it streaming? There we go. Lucky Bet, hi! Hey everyone, we're right on time.
Oh my god. This was 10 minutes ago.
Take like 9. We had a weird OBS problem, and then we had a weird Skype problem. But everything should be fine now. Or it's not. Who knows? Hey, Kilgore! If they do show up 5 minutes late, we're legally allowed to leave. That is true. Yeah, normally you cannot legally leave the stream. So I was painting today, and I actually used my pens. My brush tip. My brush tip. What are these called? Pigma? That's why you should just keep Nick in your desk drawer. Technically, Nick was part of the problem because Skype didn't want to work.
Yes.
So, Craig Turpin. Pigma nuts.
Hey, Craig.
Speaking of Pigma, right before I get started on the orc, do you guys want to see something cool? A little maybe sneak peek of things to come, just because we were so late. So I painted this second edition bike, which I probably threw too much detail into compared to how much time I had to paint it. But I'm really happy. I actually did a couple of neat things, I think. I took a hole punch and I made myself a stamp, and that's how I got those white circles. And then I used the pens to paint the Templar symbol.
Pretty cool.
And then the checkering was all by eye.
All by eye.
Nibicue, this is a 40k.
Well,
I have
you
to type it. I don't want to type it.
Well, I have my sound off right now.
All right, somebody else type it if they want, or we can just leave Nibicue in the dark. A second edition Space Marine bike. And the other thing I painted was this Rogue Trader Chaplain on bike. And this guy actually painted up. This guy actually painted up really nice. I'm always a little daunted by painting like these Rogue Trader because they lack a lot of detail and their details are very soft. But I feel like once you start to pour some work into them, they turn out.
I like the flat ass.
It's hard to tell because these aren't the right legs either. I think these are Rogue Trader Space Marine biker legs, not Rogue Trader Chaplain legs. Because the Rogue Trader Chaplain legs had skulls on them. But I actually had to sculpt his crotch to get his torso to fit on the bike. So if you can see, he has a mighty thick bulge. And that was to get the torso to fit. And one thing I'm particularly proud of is I painted the Templar symbol on the 2 little dots, and then that symbol is mirrored on his bike.
Yes, let's all take a look at his bulge.
All right, back to the orcs. Which this orc is getting real close too.
Mm-hmm.
First, I need a wash, a good wash for yellow. So I'm guessing this Army Painter light tone will do the job.
Hey, Dr. Triple.
Dr. D.
Well, I spent the whole day getting the video ready. And I will spend the rest of the night also getting the video ready.
Yeah, I think it might be a late night for me too, because in painting that chaplain, not a lot of script writing was happening.
Yep. This is a big video. And I didn't start late. I started early. It's just a big video.
I got up really early today too, because I had to take my mom to the DMV, because it turns out her license expired 4 months ago. But we found out that all the DMVs are closed for Corona. So we looked it up.
Oh, well.
And apparently they're honoring licenses that need to be renewed, but we have no idea if that means they're going to honor like an expired license. Probably not. So we're just going to assume nothing's going to happen.
Yes,
because there's nothing we can do about it.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah.
I like it.
How is the DMV? How is at least not some DMV stuff not like a necessity?
My grandpa went to the DMV. I wonder if
I think they have, because I think
again.
it was new. Like we just missed them.
Oh yeah, yeah. Good old the state. I think they should just get rid of licenses.
Yeah, if you can reach the pedals, you can drive.
Exactly.
Kilgore Void. Oh good, I can keep driving even though my license expired 6 years ago and was also taken away.
Yep. I don't know if it counts for wise though.
Oh yeah, I know for a fact it doesn't. Thanksgiving and another year closer to death's door. How lovely.
It's the positivity that we need.
Technically, you're always like a minute closer to death's door.
That's true.
It's always right around the corner.
Coroner?
Our DMV was open by appointment only. They were renewing licenses as far back as January by mail. They just used the last picture again. Alright. What to do? I'm going to keep working on his little backpack bit. His little lower back bit. What color do I want? This
Baby
color, which I don't know if... This is a very old paint. I found it at a Goodwill. And it's called reflective green, but I've never noticed any metallic in it. So I just use it as a dark green. It could be that the metallic is all just sitting in a lump at the bottom.
Amazing.
Which I really want to try out some new black paints and some new white paints. Because today I was using a lot of them. And I was noticing that I was not enjoying using I think today I was using P3. I started with some Army Painter, and I didn't like it at all. So I switched to my P3, which I enjoy enough for white paint.
I have that the white 5. I've tried the black a little bit, and I think it's very matte. It's like ultra matte black. It's so matte that it's almost a dark
so it's like
gray
a charcoal black
color. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, because usually very matte blacks look a little gray, which is not always what you want in a black.
But I'm gonna use it though, because I bought them. So at least for the kill team, and we'll see. Really well though. Like it was a pleasure to work with. It just is a weird.
I wonder if you mix it with a little bit of gloss varnish, if that would help.
Could bring it. That's a good idea, because I had some of that too.
Maybe reflective green means that it's just looked back on all the things that have happened in its life. Craig Turpin, I have Vallejo clear orange, and there's nothing clear about it. Ooh, speaking of Vallejo, there's a Vallejo product I want to buy. I want to buy what's like the ultra bright colors called? Fluorescent. I want to buy some fluorescent paints, but they can't buy them on Amazon. This is the problem I run into with Vallejo. It's actually kind of hard to find them online.
Did you try
I only
like
tried
Mini Market
Amazon.
and all those places? Okay, well that could be part of it.
I did watch copious amounts of painting YouTube today, though. Some Squidmar, some Miniac. Tends to be my go-to while I'm pleasure painting.
Ooh. Anything else you're doing while you're?
But what is your favorite wash so far? Oh my goodness, I've used so many good ones. I'm really enjoying the Army Painter washes. One thing I don't love is their naming scheme. Most of them are fine, like purple tone is purple. But there's like light tone, mid brown. Like there's like 4 different browns, and I don't know which is which. I would like it if they were just called like brown 1, 2, 3, 4, or like maybe like what's the difference between light tone and mid brown? Because light tone is far yellower. So it's not like light tone is just a lighter brown. It's a different color brown. And there's even more. I can't remember. Maybe I can find them real quick. Oh yeah, here's another brown called soft tone. So we've got light tone, soft tone, and mid brown. Then there's flesh wash, which is brownish. It's brown adjacent, I would say. And I swear there's a couple more. All right, and then we got strong tone, which is kind of brown. So I'm going to flash him up on screen. Boom. These are all brown.
Yeah, they're all very different. And obviously the names make sense. I just think
Clearly.
you don't understand the nuance.
Ooh, I have never tried Turbo Dork paints, a small herd of giraffe. I would like to, though. That's a lot of brown. They all have different undertones, though. They're all different. but that doesn't help me. We got strong tone, mid brown, flesh wash, soft tone, light tone. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try them each out, figure out what I think of them, and then I'm just going to put a piece of tape on each one with my name for them. So this one's probably going to be like, you know, black wash, brown wash 50-50, because that's pretty much what it is. Strong tone. Mid brown is just going to be red brown. Light tone is just going to be yellow brown. Flesh wash can probably stay flesh wash, even though I don't think it's a very good flesh wash because it doesn't have enough red in it. And then soft tone is like brown green. But other than that, yeah, that's my only real complaint with them. They all work very nice. They need a lot of shaking though. Whatever medium army painter uses, it's very viscous.
I've gotten the same complaint before as well.
Kilgore Void, it's better than sorting out weird names like with Citadel. Yes, that is true. That would also be no help.
Yes.
Name it Null Oil. Smaller herd of drafts. Turbo Dork is very bright. Neat. You mean spill oil. Null oil, spill oil. That's pretty good. I think I have spilled Null oil once. Steam Geek 01. I finally make it back to the live stream. Sleep is unnecessary anyway. This is true. Speaking of this is true, what color do I paint the gun? The sling? I don't know. Probably brown.
Well, that's a pretty good color.
Oh my goodness. I think I am going to go brown. Black could look nice, though.
I have a lot of things open on my computer. For some reason. I'm going to send you this link. This is from a small herd of giraffes.
All right. Well, everybody hang out for 5 minutes while I open this. Ooh. First experiment with both zenithal shading and turbo dork fluorescent paints. Pretty happy with it for now. Yeah. Oh, that's very neat.
I love that shirt. Look at that shirt go.
Yeah. It's a little low cut.
That's why I like it so much.
Ah, but I do like the yellow bandana to bring a lot of attention up. Oh, it's got such little wheels. It's so cute. It reminds me of the old now I'm gonna blank. It reminds me of the old Judge Dredd bikes. Kind of the Stallone era bikes.
Very cool.
Oh yeah, gloss varnish is really gonna bring out the colors. Brown, but which brown? Void 16. Army Painter, Citadel, or Vallejo, or something else for paints. Void 16, haven't you been around long enough? It's all the same. Almost all paint is fine.
All the above.
There are individual colors from individual paint lines that I don't prefer, but really, you can get good and bad results with any paint. It comes down a lot more to user experience than brand. Army Painter's a little glossier and cheaper. Citadel is very expensive and decent. Vallejo is a nice in-between. I also like Privateer Press P3. And I can't wait to try out some other brands. Although, I mean, you guys know I've been talking your ear off about how much I like the Army Painter washes. I dig them. As soon as I come up with new names for the browns, my collection will be complete. All right, now you see this one's brown. This one here, this is brown.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's brownie.
What I should try to do, because I had my first thought when I bought the Army Painter washes, because they weren't that expensive. I think it was like $30, a little more than $30 for 11 paints. And I was like, if I make a video about getting started in this hobby, which is a video that every single channel has to do a couple of times, I was thinking, what if I tell people to buy 1 can of white primer and this? And they just... because it's probably going to look better than if they try their hand at, like, base coats and highlights and shading. So I'll have to do some experimenting. Because for a lot of people, getting a good paint job is probably not even the goal. Just getting the models painted to play with is the goal. And if just slopping on some washes is going to do that in a timely manner, that might be a good way to go about it. You know, and the whole Army Painter range costs the same as like 4 pots of GW contrast.
Right. Sten's Son X. Hey man, bought my first minis today. Do you recommend me assembling it and then painting, or paint weapon/head/body first and then assemble?
Depends. So I'll keep parts separate if it's gonna make the painting a lot more difficult. Like if he's holding his gun over his chest, you might want to leave it separate. That way you can paint his chest before you put the gun on. But if it's a model that you think you can reach everywhere on the model without needing any extra space, it's probably fine to glue it all together. I don't like to go overboard with sub-assemblies, because I think I did that for years, where I would paint like a lot of things separate. And now I don't do sub-assemblies unless I have to. Because you're just making a little bit more work for yourself. Oops, and I just realized I'm not looking at the chat. If I scroll, it doesn't fix it for me. It stays scrolled.
That's rude.
Yeah, so Sten Sonics, I would put your mini together like as best you can, and then look at it and say, am I going to be able to get to all the nooks and crannies with it all put together? And if not, I would leave some parts separate. Like if he's got some big old wings, you might want to leave the wings off until he's all done. A small herd of giraffes is thinking about what varnish to use. I like a good satin. I feel like it's a good best of both worlds between matte and gloss. Because sometimes gloss can look a little glassy, whereas satin just looks like everything is a little bit shiny. Void 16. Okay, fine. Is there any stay away paints? I don't like Games Workshop Black or Games Workshop White. I wouldn't buy those. I don't know what names they are currently, but they both suck.
It's Abaddon Black and then
I think
something
mine's
white.
Corax White, but it might be something different now. I don't know.
Was that what it was before?
It was one of those two, probably. By the way, hi Zerg619. It took me a hot sec to catch up there. Void 16. The only reason I want Citadel is because the Warhammer boxes, it says the paints you need to make it look good, but they're heckin' expensive, and and they're in pots, so you waste more. Yes. Yeah, and like, I mean, any company is gonna advertise their own paints. But quality of paint mostly just comes down to experience. Probably don't use like craft paint, like the 99-cent apple barrel paints, because that you're gonna be struggling because the pigments are so fat. So that you're gonna be struggling against your paint. But anything that brands itself as like miniature paint should be just fine. Ooh, you know what's another good color to look out for? Any Games Workshop yellow. They suck. Most companies' yellows suck, because yellow is a very, very difficult pigment to produce. And actually, a lot of, if you buy like professional artist brand paints, you'll actually find yellow costs more because the pigment is much more expensive. I've been enjoying my Privateer Press P3 yellows. I think they're all good. I did not love my Vallejo yellows or my Games Workshop yellows. No.
Yeah, the Vallejo yellows are not good.
Oh my goodness, trash boat. Pigment's fat like my wife. Are you saying apple barrel pigments are fat or fat? I mean, I use apple barrel paints all the time, but for like terrain and stuff. I don't put it on my precious plastic. El Rondorio, I used craft paints on my original Space Hulk First Edition plastics. The Gene Stealers looked okay, but the Termies, not so much. Zerg619, today I showcased my paper crafts in the place I buy my markers, and one of the owners gave me a marker which paints in metallic gold. Ooh, neat.
Wow, that's very cool. That sounds like a great story.
If you undershade with tans and browns, yellow takes much easier and appears less streaky. Yes, yeah, that'll help. And if you want to undercoat your yellow, we learned on the stream, we all learned this together, Pinks and purples look gorgeous under yellows. Who knew? It helps though if you're maybe if you're watering down your yellow or applying it with an airbrush. It probably wouldn't look quite as nice if you were slopping it on with willy-nilly. Kilgore, any preference on green paint for orcs from somewhere not Citadel? Yeah, greens are usually pretty decent from anyone. I use every different green under the sun for my orcs because I actually paint every orc with a unique skin recipe. Because I like to be a little extra with my orcs. Which is funny, my probably best painted boutique army is orcs. Which is usually an army where people kind of let things get a little messy on because it's orcs.
They
They
let go just.
But my orcs are very clean and proper. Radu.
Right.
Molotov chrome metallics are pretty nice. Ooh, is that the pen where people were tearing the pens apart to get the chrome out of it, and so they started selling like refill packs, which was the chrome that you were just able to pour into an airbrush? I think I heard about those from an Adam Savage tested video. Ah, poop! I just got paint where I didn't want paint. El Rondorio, I saw Brent on Goobertown use yellow over pink undercoat. Yes! And purple works too. I like Brent. He's a nice guy. Or should I say Goober? Yeah, Goober.
You mean Goober?
I forgot. I accidentally misspoke. I called him the wrong name. Trash Boat, I recently bought my giant Urk army back from a friend, and now I want to repaint them, but I'm also working on a bunch of random chaos stuff. Aren't we all? I have so many I have so many 70% done paint jobs. Or models that I called done at the time but could use a little bit more work. I think that's the true mark of a wargamer is how big your pile of shame is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's how much is not done.
There we go. Auradu. Yeah, but actually Molotov do refills for all of their acrylic paints, It's just the refill bottles are too big for miniatures. I'm using them for drawing and a bit of graffiti. Neat. Yeah.
I hope you're graffitiing real buildings, like a crime. That'd be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Dr. D,
railroad cars.
There's a toy restorer on YouTube that uses Molotow chrome markers all the time to restore chrome on vintage toys like GI Transformers. He recommends letting it cure for about 2 weeks before handling. Is that toy restoring YouTube channel Retro Blasting?
Oh my god.
Dr. D? Oh no, Dr. Drokel said his name is Toy Polloy.
2 weeks.
I don't know Toy Polloy.
Two weeks is a lot of weeks.
Yeah, to play with your toys.
I don't think I could wait that long. I want to play with my
metallic paints.
To play with my
Metallic
toys right
paints
away.
tend to be very fragile, though.
Well, I'm playing with them. I don't care. My mom will be mad at me, but I'm still playing with them.
A small herd of giraffes, frost-bitten and skeletal. I'm looking for real references for frostbite, but any suggestions of frozen colors? I'd suggest, I think frostbite is, I don't know, isn't frostbite red? Or is that just like when you're recovering from frostbite, it's red?
You're purpley?
Because I feel like you should keep it cold colors. Maybe blues and purples. Because on a model, you're kind of...
Yeah, it's not quite cold enough to get...
Yeah,
it's not quite cold enough yet to get
We'll have to do a little
frostbite to
research
check.
later in the season. But one of the tricky things with miniatures is you don't have a lot of room to play with. So I think, like, even if frostbite looks kind of pink, you might want to go blue, just so that it reads. Trash Boat, Mod Podge makes a dishwasher-safe adhesive that takes 2 months to cure. I love that you let us know that it was dishwasher-safe. It's a selling feature.
Yeah, well, it's good that it's dishwasher. I mean, I feel like that makes sense. It probably should take a long time then. Imagine waiting 2 months though.
Ooh, Kilgore Void making me wait. I wash all my... Ah!
Minis by hand.
Does anybody wash their minis not by hand? Like you put them in the dishwasher? Yeah.
I put them in the dishwasher. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did. And then if my model's taking too long to
amazing.
dry, I throw it in the tumble dryer.
Yeah. They could always use a good tumble.
Really, I keep going to the secondhand store and not buying the thing I need. I really need to buy myself a hair dryer for minis.
Yeah. Not for your luscious lock.
Yeah, no, that's a separate one. Aradu. Yeah, graffiti is a crime, but I'm a designer and we use a lot of graffiti in our clothes line, so it's part of my job. Ooh.
Ah, that also makes sense.
Aduradu. We're thinking of getting
That
into
sounds cool.
the clothing game too. Yeah. Well, we
And
just do that.
graffiti game. You're going to see a lot of train cards with Eons of Battle on it. Just fill a soap dispenser with Null oil.
My date with Satan. Really love the channel. Just found you guys like a week ago,
Love it.
and you've already made my top 5. I'm a Tau player. Oh. So I'm curious if there's any plans to paint some Tau. I would like to paint some Tau. I own a couple. The only thing right now is painting videos are kind of starting to go out of fashion on YouTube. So we have to come up with something like catchy if we want to make a video. Yeah.
Flashy.
Something like like you're if you're doing this, you're painting wrong. Or Tau suck balls, but we're going to try to fix them. Something like that.
But there are rumors that Jay has a secret
yes.
kill team that may or may not be Tau.
Mm-hmm.
But I have no idea if that's true or not. Eons of Mertz. Secret kill team.
Nick is also here as a good
Nick
one.
is also here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to make pins. Burping as a paint technique. I put my paint in droppers.
Craig TP, Nick and Jay, what makes you say painting videos are going out of vogue? I think we can see it. We can definitely see it from our own analytics. Our new painting videos are some of our worst performers. But also, it seems like everyone, even the big guys, are having to, like the old, I'm gonna paint a Chaos Sorcerer, is not getting the 100,000 clicks like it might have used to. And I think it's just because every model has like 10 painting videos on it at this point. So like Goober is doing his randomization challenges where he rolls for paint colors, theme, consistency. Miniac is doing a lot more technique focused videos. None of the big guys are putting out, today I'm gonna paint ultramarines, except maybe Midwinter, but Midwinter is like 2.5 miles ahead of anyone else, so he can do it. Dr. Drokel came up with the perfect YouTube title. Painting haunted miniatures at 3 a.m. Prank gone wrong. Also Elsa and Spider-Man.
I love it. Ah, my gosh. More shirt ideas. Ask about our kill teams. Rim job.
Get skunked.
Get skunked. We'll be right back in 6 years.
We produced a couple of videos
like that one.
in that 6 years. It was really more like 4 and 2 years. Oduradu. There's a French channel who makes speed painting fight videos. 2 painters, 2 hours, the same miniature. They can base coat before the start, but use all the tricks and bits they want to. It performed well. Yeah, that sounds like a really good way to make mini painting work. Yeah.
What's the...
Yeah, I'll turn captions on to see that. I don't know.
Or learn French.
I can count to 10 in French.
Oh.
That's it.
Mm.
I don't know.
When did you learn French?
Probably from like PBS.
Oh. It's interesting. Like elementary school, we had to learn how to do that. We learned.
Well, I would have been in elementary
words.
school. That was before I got kicked out. Yeah, I got kicked.
Oh, so maybe that's
I
what
got
it
kicked out
is.
in first grade.
Maybe that's where you learned it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're really smart.
That's why I run a YouTube channel now.
Oh my god. That's really great.
You guys are chatting up a storm.
I mean, we've had
Sweet.
more viewers now than any other time.
Trash boat. To be fair, there's a lot of models that don't have good videos out there, like Classic Demon Prince or Orc Weird Boy. Really? There's nothing on the Classic Demon Prince? That's outrageous. But Trash Boat, those videos don't seem to get the clicks, because I think people are looking more for content than they are for how-to.
BQ. We all know this channel's brand is hobby, but why though? And 101 bases that even Nick can do. Exactly.
Steam Geeko1, how about a video where you try and come up with as many different base detail bits from legit bits or random stuff that's lying around like styrofoam, old pens, bits of broken screws. See, that's me before the basing video comes out. You just described my life. That doesn't need to be a video. The videos are when I actually work it out. A lot of bases don't end up on the channel.
Mm-hmm. Craig Turpin, who here knows Blender? I need a set of tutorials.
Oh, Blender Guru,
Blender
for sure.
Guru.
Your one-stop shop.
Go look at the guru. And I don't remember who it is. Beginner Blender tutorial where they teach you how to build a sword. So I feel like that would be a pretty cool thing if you wanted to do like weapons or something. Great place to start. Hi, Gustus.
Pangburn Dark. Yeah, but your how-to videos are great. Thanks, Pangburn Dark. I like my how-tos as well, but I do see the appeal of wanting a video to be entertainment along with informative. So that's what we're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Chancho! I'm currently painting an Imperial Knight and want to know your advice when painting armor chipping. Also, what are your thoughts on the political turmoil in Peru? Oh my goodness, Chacho. I don't know much about Peru, but I know a lot about scratches. So there's a whole bunch of different ways you could do scratches, especially on a big model like an Imperial Knight. You could do the old hairspray and salt. You could paint on the scratches. I would suggest maybe using a piece of foam and some tweezers, and then stippling some light colored paint onto the model, and then then go in with a small brush and over the chips dot on some black paint, because usually a chip has a raised portion that's being hit by the light, and then it also has a recess that's in shadow. So a light color and a dark color usually shows that off pretty well. The hairspray method is a little bit easier, but it takes a lot of prep work, where you hose the model down with hairspray, pour on some rough cut salt, airbrush on or rattle can on your base color, and then hit it with a stiff brush like a toothbrush to knock off the salt. A small herd of giraffes. Fine, I'll do it, but I'm gonna complain the whole time. Ah, yes. You know, Bob's Burgers, it's a show I never seek out, but I love it when I'm watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it in a long time. Is it still on Netflix, or did they get rid of it?
It's a very popular show. I don't know. Does Netflix have anything anymore?
For a while.
I mean, The Office is about to leave, and I think that's going to be the death nail for Netflix. Speaking of death nail, it is 10:01, guys. The time really flies.
Oh boy.
Big old video coming out tomorrow. Huge. You guys are gonna love it.
Huge. So huge.
Yeah. Watch it and then come to the stream and let me know exactly what you think of it. I'm sure we're gonna get some real fun comments on it. Yeah, it does.
Time flies when you're late.
All right, everyone. Good night.
All right.